Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Samantha Tovias. I am a first generation biomedical engineering student, and I'm also your new member representative for the year of 2023-2024. And I'm also running as your SHPE president for the year of 2024-2025. When I first started SHPE-UH, it was the fall of 2021. I was very shy. I only went to one journal meeting and one outreach event. But with that outreach event, I got to meet people like Jose and Jessica, where they were very influential in my SHPE career. So influential that they motivated me to apply as a chair, as social chair, and my life changed completely. That same year, I got to receive one of my dream internships at NASA. I got to have one of my dream scholarships as well. And I also did 3 leadership positions with 3 other orgs. Managing my time, talking to other students, and also just being there with the familia really brought a spark to me, and not only towards school, but towards other members as well. And that motivated me to run as new member rep. As new member rep, my greatest accomplishment is creating Project Chair. With Project Chair, I really wanted to include not just members with professional development, because that's one of our greatest aspects for SHPE-UH, but also to develop our members with technical development. And it's very nice to go office hours and you see a resume and like the members like, oh, I got this technical experience with SHPE-UH. As I continue to be a new member rep, I also accomplished my goal of recruiting more than 260 members. And another goal that I accomplished as well is to have more than 200 members in our first general meeting. This spark of SHPE and just seeing the familia just grow and have such a strong foundation really inspired me to just become president for SHPE-UH. So my 3 main goals for SHPE-UH presidency is inclusion, so still keep the new member energy going, scholarships, and alumni. So with inclusion, I really want to, since I created Project Chair, I really want to create a new chair position called the SHPE chair. With this chair position, this chair will be able to not only have non-professional and professional events inside of SHPE-UH and also with other chapters. Not only that, I also want to create a scholarship for SHPE Junior. As you may know, my brother and Carolina are in charge of the SHPE Junior chapter here at our school. And they also brought a new SHPE chapter to Aldine, which is a school that I went to. And seeing the members and seeing them grow, not only that they just want to go to college, bringing a scholarship to them will only now motivate them to further their education, but stay in school as well. Another scholarship that I want to talk to is with the SHPE alumni. So the president sends a newsletter every month. I also want to include inclusivity with SHPE alumni because I know as SHPE leaders, we do get a lot of recognition that we led an organization. But also I want to do a spotlight with SHPE alumni for the members who were just members and were creating a difference in and out of the SHPE-UH chapter. So with that in mind, I hope when you think of presidency, you think of me. So thank you.
President. So the question is, the needs of the membership change every year, and this can sometimes change the plans for the chapter and the ideas that we initially came up with. How will you assess the chapter when you first get an idea of what the needs will be, and how will you use your learnings to make it a successful year?
May you repeat the question, please?
Yes. So the membership changes every year, and this sometimes changes the plans for the chapter that we have and the ideas that we originally came up with. How will you assess the chapter when you first get in, and how will you use your learnings to make it a successful year?
Well, with my experience as new member rep, I will try to initiate the same energy as well, and also set new, to talk to my e-board team and also talk to them about the mission and vision of the organization. I want to include not only the participation of each e-board, but also the importance of why we're actually doing this for the SHPE chapter. Because as a team, we're doing this as a whole, and we're making a change not only for the Hispanic community, but also SHPE-UH and University of Houston in general.
Awesome speech. So you being president, you're going to be working with 7 additional e-board plus whatever chairs you determine. And each chair is going to have their unique personality, styles, ways of communicating. And with that, conflict tends to arise. How do you plan to minimize conflict And in the event that conflict does happen, how do you plan to cease conflict in a timely manner?
So what I learned as new member rep is that you can't just approach anybody with like the same personality that you have. With me, I'm very bubbly, very charismatic, but if I were to approach the same energy that I have to another member who's very shy, reserved, it will scare them away. So one of the things that I learned is get to learn people's professional language. It's kind of like a relationship, love language, but professional language. And you get to know how they work, if their procrastination, their timely matter, and also get to know essentially what are their mission and values, because there's SHPE as a whole, the mission and value, but their own personal ones as well. And so once you get to know them as a person, you get to know where to place a certain task, where to motivate them in a certain way. And also if there isn't any conflict, there's also, I actually got inspiration from this from Andres' SHPE presidency speech, is that you get to have to talk to them and remind them their spark about SHPE. Because at the end of the day, if there's like any dismotivation that happens with people, remind them of why they joined in the first place. Start off small, start off with one tabling event, start off with one outreach event, start off with something that just made you join SHPE in general.
Thank you.
So as president, you will be the face of SHPE-UH at regional meetings or national meetings, including with the other amazing chapters that other schools have. How will you make sure that SHPE-UH, you're advocating for SHPE-UH at these meetings and in general throughout the year to make sure that we get the recognition, exposure, and awards that we deserve?
So a practice that I've been doing is also with new member representatives. So one of the quotes that I heard that whenever you're recruiting, you're basically the face of SHPE before the president. So whenever I'm recruiting or talking to other companies, I also want to emphasize and advocate for our members, because I believe in our members. Most of our members are first generation, and I understand how it is to, work a full-time job, also struggle with classes, and also struggle with having 3 leadership organizations. And with that, I really want to just advocate for our members, have the logistics going on, and also, sorry, my bad. And also just, my bad. And also advocate for our members to just have a better future for not only for themselves, but for the SHPE chapter itself.
So great job, Samantha.
Oh, thank you.
One of the top skills that a leader needs to have is empathy. And so I want you to think about delegation, delegating and leading with empathy. How would you leverage empathy with your board in order to welcome a familia culture, but also accomplishing all of the chapter's goals?
So when it comes to empathy, like I mentioned, I am a first generation student. I think I've lived many lives before with health problems and everything. And I really want to emphasize that I understand members whenever they come up to me when they say, oh, I'm scared to join SHPE-UH because, it's intimidating, it's such a big familia. I mean, I started off with just a shy member just going to the first general meeting and one outreach event. And with that in mind, I want to just have inclusion and also participation for not only from our members, but myself as well. So whenever it comes to presidency, just including myself to just mostly every event, and also talking to our members and, sorry, what was the question again? So sorry.
No worries. How would you leverage empathy with your board in order to welcome a familia culture, but then also accomplishing all the chapter's goals?
All the chapter goals? So when it comes to empathy and also all the chapter's goals, it's also delegating tasks on the first e-board meeting, talking about what's the purpose for us to have for chapter development, leadership development, academic development, and also outreach development. What is the purpose that we want to do as a SHPE chapter? Do we want to expand or build up with our members? That's one of the main things I really want to go ahead and talk to my e-board about as well. And also for empathy, I understand whenever it comes to members that they're not willing to participate as much or come to most general events. That's why as a member rep, I tried my best to not only create project chair, but as president, I really want to create SHPE chair to not only attract members, but also have an inclusion to not only SHPE-UH, but outside SHPE-UH as well.